Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to ABS News Talk with yours truly, Chris Anu, as usual, coming to you from the great state of Texas, precisely Houston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining from Europe, from the continent USA, from all of Africa except the four countries up north. Thank you for tuning in. I come to you very excited and hoping you all had a wonderful, excellent weekend in spite of the cold. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the immigration crisis right here in the USA. And of course, this breaking story coming from Nigeria of over 46 Cameroonians, Gabonese, and in some cases Ghanaians freed in Lagos, Nigeria from abductors who had abducted them with promises of jobs across the continent and even in the Western Europe and the USA. I'm going to be bringing you these stories, and of course, I will open the phone lines to take your call. If you are out there and you have a relation going through immigration crisis, this will be a very good show for you, and I'd like you to hit your share button. Hit your share button if you are watching by way of Facebook. If you are watching live on the YouTube, do me the favor, hit the subscribe button so that you are one of those who receive our notifications once we are live. I will be right back in a few minutes. Don't touch your remote, please.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com.
The West lectures the world about democracy, then it bankrolls dictators. It condemns oppression, then it congratulates stolen elections. In this book, The Hypocrisy of the West, veteran journalist Chris Anu exposes the double standards that define modern global politics. From Africa to the Middle East and beyond, Western powers present themselves as champions of freedom, while quietly propping up tyranny in the name of stability and strategic interest. This book pulls back the curtain. Why dictators are rewarded after rigged elections. How human rights become optional when power is at stake. Why some wars provoke outrage and others silence. How selective justice shapes the global order. Written in a bold, direct, and uncompromising voice, The Hypocrisy of the West is not a theory. It is a reckoning. It challenges official narratives, names uncomfortable truths, and forces readers to confront a world governed by convenience, not principle. You should read this book if you have ever questioned why some dictators are sanctioned while others are celebrated. Get your copy of The Hypocrisy of the West today on Amazon. Read it, question everything, then decide where you stand.
All right, thanks for staying put out there, ladies and gentlemen. At this moment, I take you here to America, where the talk of the day for a year now has been an immigration policy that President Trump introduced once taking over power in his second coming. The borders have been shut down, and those who entered America from all over the globe through the southern border, that border has been completely shut down. And what is going on now, it appears, is The Trump administration is now focused internally on getting rid of those who entered the USA illegally. And we have seen that in many different forms. We are hearing of visa bans and ICE raids on the illegal immigrants and every other suspect they think that has committed crimes while living in the USA. That is the first subject that I bring to you tonight. And I will bring you my monologue on that subject. And after my monologue, I have my legal analyst here who will throw some light on this subject. And then after that, I will open the lines for a few phone calls to hear from you, so we can take your question and have my analysts answer those questions. So please, that is the main subject of this segment of the show, the Trump immigrants, immigration under Donald Trump. 1 year into President Donald Trump's second term, U.S. immigration has entered a new phase, a phase defined by expanded entry restrictions, a broad slowdown in certain legal immigration pathways, and more aggressive interior enforcement. Supporters argue the approach restores law and order, deters illegal entry, and protects U.S. jobs and security. Critics say, however, it is sweeping, disruptive to legal migration, and has fueled fear in immigrant communities, sometimes ensnaring people with pending or even lawful status within the country. What follows is a snapshot of the current landscape: visa bans and visa freezes, enforcement operations, and how different categories of immigrants are being affected, including those with cases still pending, VAWA self-petitioners, and international students and visitors. What do these laws mean to all of you under this status? The administration's most consequential legal migration moves in late 2025 and early 2026 have come through presidential proclamations and State Department processing directives. A Trump proclamation issued in mid-December 2025 expanded entry restrictions into the country, the USA, with the administration and outside analysts describing it as a significant enlargement of travel ban-style policies that began earlier in 2025. The White House fact sheet describes full or potential restrictions and lists additional countries subject to limitations, with exceptions for certain categories such as lawful permanent residents and some visa classes. Separately, and even more immediately disruptive for families and employers, the State Department announced a pause, ladies and gentlemen, on immigrant visa processing for nationals of 75 countries. Nationals of 75 countries. Beginning this January, actually precisely January the 21st, 2026, framed as a public charge, self-sufficiency and vetting review. Major reporting indicates this is focused on immigrant visas, path to permanent residence process abroad, and does not generally target tourist, business, student visas the same way, they say. The bottom line is this: the travel ban limits entry visa issuance for certain nationalities, certain countries. Why the 75-country immigrant visa processing pause slows or blocks many family and employment-based green card processes handled at U.S. consulates abroad, even for people trying to come legally. That means even if you have a visa or you want to have a legal visa of entry, you cannot. The administration's restrictions touch a large share of the world's countries, with many affected nations described as African, Middle Eastern, and Asian. And in the immigrant visa pause, also parts of the Caribbean. A key practical consequence is that nationality now matters more than it did for timelines and outcomes, especially for applicants seeking immigrant visas abroad, and for people from listed countries who anticipate heightened screening or longer processing times. Inside the United States, the administration has emphasized arrest, detention capacity, and at large enforcement operations. Recent reporting highlights multiple large-scale actions that local officials say have had visible community impacts. You look at Maine, you look at Ohio, you look at Minnesota, you look at New York, you look at Maryland, and so many other locations, even Texas. In Maine, DHS said ICE arrested more than 100 people within days as part of a crackdown. Advocates allege broad sweeps and fear spreading through immigrant communities with disputes over how many targeted individuals had criminal histories versus being collateral arrests. In Minnesota, a federal court is considering a challenge to a major deployment described as Operation Metro Surge. Operation Metro Surge, and we've seen the protests all week long, all this time, with state and city officials arguing the federal operation crosses constitutional lines. The administration defends it as lawful immigration enforcement. And nationally, an Associated Press report on an internal ICE memo says immigration officers have been instructed they may enter homes using administrative warrants not signed by a judge in certain circumstances, an issue that has alarmed advocates and is likely to be tested in court. Who is affected in all of this? Who is affected? The administration publicly emphasizes worst of the worst. Messaging and enforcement recaps. But on the ground, ladies and gentlemen, reporting and advocacy analysis say operations can lead to collateral arrests and disruptions for mixed status families, workers, and even some people who believe they are complying with immigration requirements. So it has become indiscriminate. You can be picked up irrespective of whether you've committed crimes or not. For immigrants with pending matters, family petitions, employment filings, asylum or removal defense cases, the dominant theme is uncertainty. Uncertainty. The biggest stress points include consular processing abroad. That has to do with immigrant visas. The 75-country pause means many applicants, despite approved petitions, may be stuck waiting indefinitely for interviews or final issuance if they fall under the pause criteria. USCIS guidance and policy updates continue to change or evolve, with the agency publishing policy memoranda and alerts. The practical effect for many applicants is heightened security, more requests for evidence, and longer adjudication times, especially where national security vetting or complex eligibility questions are involved. Immigration court dynamics are as this. With intensified enforcement, more people can be pushed into proceedings or feel pressured to self-deport, even as backlogs and detention transfers complicate access to lawyers. Recent high-profile deportation reporting also illustrates how politically charged cases can play out through the system. VAWA cases, protections remain, but fear and confusion rise. VAWA means Violence Against Women Act. Self-petitions are designed to protect certain survivors and include confidentiality safeguards. USCIS continues to publish updates to VAWA-related guidance in its policy manual and alerts. However, the broader enforcement climate can still affect those on VAWA or with VAWA applications indirectly. The key point is this: VAWA remains a legal pathway to gaining permanent residence, but applicants may experience heightened anxiety and should ensure filings are carefully prepared and, of course, supported. The Trump administration's strategy is coherent in its own terms. Restrict entry from targeted countries, slow down legal immigration flows seen as riskier, expand detention or enforcement capacity, and pressure jurisdictions that resist cooperation. But the immediate social reality is a chill effect. Families delaying travel, students unsure about re-entry, employers facing staffing uncertainty, and immigrants with pending cases worried that a missed appointment, a paperwork error, or a chance encounter could become life-altering. And that is my talking point on that subject, ladies and gentlemen. I am being joined by Attorney Ijeoma Opara, who is an immigration attorney based right here in the Houston, Texas. She is here to answer some of the questions that are on your mind related to these expulsions, ICE arrests, and those still undocumented in the system, or those who have put in their applications and they are pending. Barrister, it's a great pleasure to have you on News Talk, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. You are here to take some questions to clarify those who are out there having worries about their immigration applications, their status. You know that there are so many in this country who came in during the Biden administration. They came either through the southern border or they came through the regular visa process by flight, landed in here. They either extended their stay or they came in without the due process, and right now, many of them, if not millions, are under the risk of deportation. The question that many of them ask with the visa bans is, what is my situation? Because we've heard of reports, recent reports of immigrants picked up when they reported for their hearings. Let's be very surgical here. What would you say to immigrants who are still in the process? Their cases are still in the process. What will you say to them? Because many of them, I have heard some say, well, if I will go to a hearing and I will be picked up and deported, I better not go than stay. Some say, well, I will go, let what happen, happen. What, as an immigration attorney, what would be your advice to people in this category?
Thank you so much. Not going is not, it's never an option. What I will advise and what I advise my clients to do is to talk to a lawyer or take a lawyer. Make sure that all your paperwork has been filed properly. Make sure that you don't have anything like criminal in your background. Go to your interview. Even if you're picked up, you have an attorney, and the attorney will be able to work with you to obtain relief. Unfortunately, the climate that we are in now fosters these fears because of misinformation that is out there, and several things that are going on. Some of them are true, some of them are not, some of them are exaggerated. But to be on the safe side, keep calm and contact a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, we have several organizations that can help you at least to weather the storm. Thank you.
Okay, and what would you have to say about those who are here and their proceedings have essentially expired? They have no other way to go, or would you say they too should be in the position to contact a lawyer? And in that case, what can a lawyer do for them in that situation?
So most of the things that people suffer from, or what affects immigrant communities, is not knowing, not having enough knowledge, not knowing how things work. There are several relief that you can obtain in situations. Undocumented immigrants stand on their own because they are either people that came in without inspection, or people that came in that were inspected, but they have overstayed their visas. So in that kind of situation, if you have overstayed your visas, there are certain laws in the book that you can pursue immigrant status with. But you have to know this, and that's where the lawyers come in. You have to retain a lawyer to help you to navigate the process.
All right, now let's talk about the countries that have been banned from issuing visas. What do those bans mean? Does it mean that if you already have a visa from any of these countries, you cannot enter the U.S., or does it mean that the consulates, the embassies, will no longer issue visas?
So that is correct. If you fall under the travel ban, which was extended to 39 countries now that are on that ban, there will be no issuing of visas in those categories in your consulate or embassy, American embassy in your country. However, people that already have visas can travel to the United States, but they are not issuing new visas. And if you have already had your interview, there is a pause. You may not get a visa to travel.
Oh, so if you already have an interview, there may be a pause, so you may not be able to travel.
Yes, but you can still complete your interview, complete everything you need to do, but you may not be able to travel because of the ban.
And what about those who have already been issued the let's say this law, I think, went into effect January 21st, and you were granted a visa in any of the embassies, let's say around the 15th or the 18th, would you be allowed to travel?
Yes, if you already have a visa that has been granted to you, you can travel.
Okay. Okay. And explain this a little bit as an immigration lawyer. What informs the number of countries, not emphasis on the numbers, but the countries that the U.S. is putting visa bans on?
To be frank with you, as an immigration attorney, I do not know the criteria that they were using. In the last travel ban, there was issue regarding countries that were not educated. Nigeria was in that ban in the first President Trump's regime. However, there was a backlash on that because Nigeria is one of the most read people in the world. So
Right.
with that, we don't have that in this second ban. However, the expanded ban or partial ban, as I may call it, for the 75 countries, Nigeria is also there this time around. So
Right.
there is no, we can't say this is the criteria, even though, like you stated in your monologue, that it was done for the protection of American jobs. It was done to prevent illegal immigration. It was done to keep everything in status quo. The truth of the matter is that there is no hard and fast rule as to how these countries are being banned. They were mostly, like you stated, African countries, Asian countries, East countries like that, which does not, we don't know why, but these people are being banned according to the proclamation that the president put out.
Right. I don't know. What are you hearing as an immigration attorney relating to the indiscriminate arrest that ICE is making? Because we've learned of stories of ICE picking up people indiscriminately. That is, people without any criminal record. They are picked up. Some people go for shopping. They are picked up. Some people go to the church. They are picked up. Some people go to school. They are picked up. I mean, just indiscriminate and anywhere where they have no criminal records in the country. In that case, how do individuals defend themselves? And some have actually been sent back to their home countries without a crime. How do people facing that situation defend themselves?
So this is the problem. When President Trump first announced that there will be some bans, it was supposed to, there will be increased scrutiny and heavy enforcement. We were all made to believe that it will be with people with criminal history or people that have committed crimes in the US.
Right.
That's not what we're seeing today. We are seeing sweeping immigration enforcement that is targeting, I would say it's targeting people in the minority group because there is no other way to explain it better. And this sweeping immigration laws or immigration enforcement is removing people, even people that are in proceeding, people that are already filed their applications and waiting to go to interview, or people that have family members that have sponsored them. They're even reviewing applications that have been approved for green card, which is your permanent resident, to
Right.
see who they can remove from there. So it doesn't really matter how they are doing it. It's just sweeping across the border. And in the process, they have swept off people that are green card holders. They've always swept off some citizens. And before you know it, those people have been deported. So the advice that I give to my clients is make sure that you carry your documents wherever you go. Carry your immigration documents, carry your green card, carry your passport, carry everything wherever you go. Because by the time you know it, by the time you start explaining yourself, you may be deported. So the best thing is to make sure that you have everything up front, have a plan in place in case you're detained. If you have younger children, make sure that you have a lawyer's number on a speed dial. Make sure that you have a trusted family member number on a speed dial so that you can contact them immediately. Because sometimes, as immigration lawyers, we are finding it difficult to know where our clients are even detained. By the time we find out that they are in this facility, they've already been moved to another facility. By the time we find out who is the deportation officer in that facility, they already moved to another facility. So you can't say for sure. So just be prepared at all times. That's where we see ourselves these days.
At that moment, what rights, if any, do immigrants have? Do they have any rights?
Yes.
What are
Immigrants,
they?
just like criminal defendants, have the same rights. They have the right to be silent. They have the right to request for a warrant before their property is searched. They have a right to an attorney, a right to be questioned in front of an attorney. They have a right to refuse to sign any document until they have consulted with their attorney. They have a right to only answer questions like state your name, but without going into details. Because like I said before, silence is golden. The less you talk, the better for you. The best option is, my name is Ijoma Opara. I would like to retain a lawyer. That's your right. You do not say too much. You do not divulge any information, because you may have some relief when you talk to your lawyer. But if you go and say too much, you may be removed before you even have a chance to defend yourself.
Even when you have, say, your green card, you could be removed?
Yes, there are certain laws in place before where you can be removed if you commit crime within 5 years of obtaining your green card. So those laws are still in place. However, under this particular climate, you could be removed for simple things that you didn't think about. For coming in overstay, if you overstayed your visa, even though you now have a green card, you can still be removed because of that overstay. Because that overstay makes you an undocumented immigrant at that particular time. You can also be removed if your visa is denied, or if you apply for permanent residency and it is denied, or if you apply for relief in the immigration court and they are denied. ICE is waiting down there and you'll be removed immediately. So that's what we're seeing now. And that's what is creating the fear and the anxiety in immigrant communities.
Yeah, I'd like you to take this a little bit exclusive. You mentioned that if you have had your green card status and within the 5 years of that status you committed a crime, you can be removed. Can you explain
Correct.
that more a little bit?
Yes, that has always been in the book. It's not something new under Trump's regime. That has always been the law, based on a law that we call IRA that came up in 1996. It's a sweeping immigration law. So if you commit crimes, any type of crime within your 5 years of immigration, especially crimes that we classify as crimes of moral turpitude,
Yeah.
which is not properly defined. So any crime can go into that category, or crimes of aggravated felony crimes. So those kind of crimes like rape, robbery, battery, those kind of crimes are crimes of moral turpitude or breaking into a habitat. And this kind of crime, if you commit them within 5 years of obtaining your resident permit, you will be put in removal proceeding after you have dealt with the criminal court.
That is quite interesting. I was never aware of that. I thought if you had a green card and committed a crime, because after a certain period of time, it's like you are let go of that crime and your records become clean or something like that. Now, in the case of a citizen, a naturalized citizen, is there any such clause to his or her status? Can a naturalized citizen who has committed a crime be deported?
Yes and no. I say no because usually a naturalized citizen will not be deported unless they commit treason or they commit acts that threaten the security of the United States. However, I say yes, because even though you are a naturalized citizen, if they find that you got your naturalization through fraud, any type
Okay.
of fraud, marriage fraud or other types of fraud, they can strip you of your citizenship.
Interesting. Now, would this explain, within the immigrant community in the U.S., there is a lot of fear when it comes to traveling. Many people don't want to travel anymore because they are worried. They may be picked up at the airport, they may be tracked down, they may not be able to return. What would you advise immigrants who want to travel not out of the country per se, but within the country?
So if you want to travel within the country, it is okay as long as you have your paperwork with you. If you want to travel outside the country, it's not advisable unless you are a U.S. citizen or you are a person that entered the U.S. with a green card. If you are an overstay, you may not be allowed. It's not advisable. That doesn't mean that you cannot go, but you may be picked up. And this is maybe. It doesn't mean that you will definitely be picked up, but you may be picked up on your way to re-enter the United States.
And what do you say to an immigrant who is visited by immigration officials? They knock the door and they come in, as we have seen in some cases. What would you say to an immigrant who is visited by an ICE or by ICE officers?
So the advice is to stay calm, ask for identity, and ask for a warrant. Now, you have to be mindful of the fact that they have administrative warrants that are not judicial warrants. An administrative warrant may get them to the door, but it shouldn't allow them to search your property.
You shouldn't
have to
allow them to search what?
To search your properties, to come in
Okay.
and start searching stuff in your house.
Yeah.
They have to have a judicial warrant for that. So that's why I keep saying, make sure you have the number of a lawyer on a speed dial. Because from what we are seeing, they may extend their authority and somebody needs to call them on it. Do not fight with immigration officers. Do not quarrel with them to avoid escalating the situation. Be calm, be calculated, but ask for a warrant, ask for identification. You don't have to open your door. I hear that they can now break down the door, but that's another matter of breaking and entry that you can deal with later on with your lawyer. But for now, keep calm, be calculated, do not be impolite, do not fight or engage them. Identify yourself and ask them to identify who they are, because you're not going to open your door to anybody. And when you open your door, if you do, make sure you ask for a warrant if they want to search your property.
We've seen situations where some of the officers broke doors and enter. Can the victim call the police?
The victim can call the police, but you have to understand the climate under which we are operating now. So the best option for you to do is to cooperate with them. If they broke your door, take pictures, document everything that you can, and fight them in court. That's really your recourse. You can still call police for breaking and entry, but if they come there and they see that they have ICE officers, they may not arrest them. So your recourse is to be prepared to take this case up and fight for your rights, because you still have those rights. They are in the Constitution of the United States, and even though ICE has extended enforcement powers, they cannot erode the Constitution of the United States.
We have so many families that are frustrated. The hearings are becoming so much extended, unlike before. Is there anything that these families can do to hasten or quicken the hearing process?
Unfortunately, no. The reason for the delays is because of backlog. USCIS is backlogged. Two, there is such a shortage of staff. Also, because of this whole processing going on now, there is extreme and unusual scrutiny. And these things are taking time to navigate. That's why everything is, delayed. However, if you have a lawyer working for you, they can just be updating by checking status all the time. Keep checking status within every 90 days, every 120 days. That can keep your file in the front and going.
As an immigrant attorney, what are some of the common mistakes that immigrants do once filing or defending their status?
One of the biggest mistakes, which is why I started with saying be silent. One of the biggest mistakes that immigrants make, not only in immigration arena, both in criminal arena and every other case, is that they assume that they can just, I have nothing to hide, so let me just talk. And once you open up the door, it's going to be very difficult, even with an attorney, to close it back up. So we shouldn't assume anything. As immigrants, what we should do is to identify yourself, ask to speak to a lawyer. Ask them, I want to speak to my lawyer. Before I say anything else, I would like to speak to a lawyer. Before I sign, and this also applies to signing documents, because I see in my practice, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I see in my practice that people sign documents already before they even contact the lawyer. And once you have signed over those rights, they are very difficult for the attorney to do much for you.
In that case, can an attorney, once he takes over the case, can you withdraw it and redo the application?
Yes, attorneys can fix what you have already messed up, or what you have already said too much. But it's difficult because they are now coming from the back end. And most times, it may not be believable because you already said the one that you wanted to say out there, and that one is already in your records. But yes, attorneys do try to fix it by putting it the right way. But then, I'm just saying, let us be mindful of what we say to avoid messing up our cases.
Okay. Now let's get back to ICE. We are hearing reports of increased ICE activity everywhere across the country. From a legal standpoint, what authority does ICE actually have during arrest or home visits? What authority can they, apart from arrest, can they force somebody out of his home even when the person has a green card or citizenship? Is that a legal action they can engage?
No. The ICE has no authority to force green card holders or citizens out of their homes. They do. We've heard that they have done it, but that's overstepping. And you need to get help to fight it, because even as an immigrant, whether documented or undocumented, you do have certain rights. You have the right to complain when you're being maltreated by ICE officials. You can report that to DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security. They have no right to maltreat you or throw you out of your house without just cause. However, if they are pursuing you because you have committed a crime, then they have to put you through the normal process for you to go through the normal immigration process, and you may have some relief depending on what is going on. The removal may not be your ultimate goal.
Okay. Would you experience, how are families who are already affected in this ICE mobilization. How are they affected, especially those who have citizens, who have green card holders, but members of the family are picked up and deported or detained? How does it impact those families?
I mean, the impact is very severe. Nobody is happy when a family member is removed. There is family unification. Removal of one person does not encourage family unification. Removal of family members disrupt the family unit. A father may be removed from a family, or a mother may be removed, or both parents may be removed, and children are left because the children are maybe born here as citizens. Children are left without protection. So those kind of things destabilize the family unit and cause a lot of fear and chaos. I must tell you sincerely, I have several clients that have called me. They are afraid to even petition for one thing or the other because they are afraid of being found out. Some of them have relief. I'm not talking about undocumented immigrants. I'm talking about people that have relief, that have either married a U.S. citizen or a green card holder who can petition for them, or people that petition for VAWA, or people that came here because of asylum. Asylum was one of the tools that United States put in place because some countries have no one to fight for them in that country. They have no one to fight for them. So because of fear of persecution in their home country, they run to the United States. But some of these things have now reduced where it is almost the barest minimum. So people are suffering. And this type of behavior or some people have lived in this country for so long. They grew up here. Maybe they came here when they were 2 years old, 3 years old. They went to elementary school here. They went to secondary school here, high school here. And sometimes they are removed. Their parents are removed. Or sometimes they are removed with their parents and to a country that they know nothing about. So this thing has destabilized the family unit very well, whatever is going on now. However, there is hope. Everything that is in the book for the immigrants are still in the book. Enforcement is more severe, more broad, but everything is still possible under the immigration laws.
How does the visa ban affect students, affect those who are already in the USA, who still have to go back? Their visas are still valid, and those who have already filed for asylum and are still waiting for the process. Do you think that the visa ban can, if they are from the countries listed, in the list, can it affect the result of their interviews or process? But again, how about those who already have visas and they are in here?
So those people who are already in the U.S. are not affected by this ban. This ban, like I stated before, are for people that are seeking to come to the U.S. And yes, F visas, which are student visas, both regular student visas and M visas, are all affected. The consulates are not issuing visas. But if you have your visa and you're already in the U.S., it doesn't affect you. But note, however, that if you did not come into the U.S. with a student visa and you change your status to student, if you leave the country, you must go back to your consulate to obtain an F visa to re-enter U.S. So if you do not have that, it's not advisable for you to leave the country until you finish your course of study.
Okay, and when you finish your course of study, and if you go out, you can't come back.
You cannot come back unless you obtain the correct visa to come in. And then you have seen that there's ban in this country, so they cannot issue those visas.
Can you explain? I know you touched on this earlier, but the criteria in picking which countries are banned, because I think they started with 19 countries. And then the number went up to 75 countries. If you can throw much more light on the criteria in picking which country should be banned from giving visas coming to the USA, that would be great.
Well, like I stated before, we don't know. I don't know. I'm an immigration lawyer, but I don't know the criteria. First, it was 39 countries. Starting from January, like you mentioned, it has gone to 75 countries. We don't
Right.
know the criteria. It's just a proclamation from the president that there should be that. And there's pauses on other visas. So it's not only banning countries from issuing visa. There is pauses even in the United States from issuing green cards. There's pause even for people that are supposed to be sworn in as U.S. naturalized citizens.
Right.
So there are different things going on. We don't know exactly the
So
criteria. I don't know.
what happened to people who were about to be sworn in as U.S. citizens?
Their ceremony was postponed.
That's
They're
interesting.
all now on a waiting list, waiting to be sworn in.
That's very interesting. Listen, Barrister, hold on out there. We will take a brief break, and when we come back, I will open the phone lines for people who may have questions to ask you, and then we continue from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back in a minute. I'll be back. Stay put.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never
You know how I
before.
watch it.
Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level.
The West lectures the world about democracy, then it bankrolls dictators. It condemns oppression, then it congratulates stolen elections. In this book, The Hypocrisy of the West, veteran journalist Chris Anu exposes the double standards that define modern global politics. From Africa to the Middle East and beyond, Western powers present themselves as champions of freedom, while quietly propping up tyranny in the name of stability and strategic interest. This book pulls back the curtain. Why dictators are rewarded after rigged elections. How human rights become optional when power is at stake. Why some wars provoke outrage and others silence. How selective justice shapes the global order. Written in a bold, direct, and uncompromising voice, The Hypocrisy of the West is not a theory, it is a reckoning. It challenges official narratives, names uncomfortable truths, and forces readers to confront a world governed by convenience, not principle. You should read this book if you have ever questioned why some dictators are sanctioned while others are celebrated. Get your copy of The Hypocrisy of the West today on Amazon. Read it, question everything, then decide where you stand.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put out there. My guest tonight is Barrister Ijeoma Opara. She is an immigration lawyer based out here in Houston, Texas. And we are discussing the recent visa bans and all the strict regulations put in place by the Trump administration since coming to power a year ago. At this moment, I will open the phone line before she goes so she can take some of your questions. If you have a question, an immigration question out there, you are free to go ahead to call the number on your screen. Before you call, remember, you have to shut down the volume of your television set. Focus on your phone. Focus on your phone when you call, as I will be hearing you in the background, hearing myself in the background, and not you on the phone. So please, you go ahead, call that number, and if you have a question for her before she leaves, she can answer it for you. So, Barrister Isioma, let me get back to you while we wait for the phone calls. Many families are stranded. Many of them don't know what to do. They live in fear on a daily basis. What opportunities remain there for those already in the U.S. to find a pathway to regularizing their status in the USA, either by green card or citizenship? Are there any pathways for them who are here, whether they have filed or they have pending cases or they have been rejected? Are there any pathways for any of these?
Immigration has changed a little. Some things have changed in immigration, but other things remain the same. So people that are seeking asylum can still continue to file for asylum. People that are seeking for temporary protected status can continue to do that. However, some countries have been banned or removed from this temporary protective status. So if you're from those countries, you cannot pursue that. People that are victims of violence can also pursue their VAWA applications, which is Violence Against Women Act application, which, by the way, is gender neutral. So both men and women who are in abusive relationship can file for that. So that's still ongoing. Now, if file any of these
hold on, the women who are in abusive relationship, that is referring to women who came here, got married, but they are under abusive relationship and they want to check out of the relationship, is it?
They want to, normally for you to file for paperwork in the United States, you have to have a sponsor.
Right.
So they came here, married somebody who is supposed to be their sponsor, but their sponsor has subjected them to torture, inhuman treatment, abusive, domestic violence, any of those. They are now free to file for VAWA. And this is also true for men who found themselves in the same category because of the women that they married. So those pathways are still there. The pathways are still there. It requires more stringent scrutiny now, but it's still there. And it's still somehow delayed because of the backlog, but it's still there. Then people with who have been victims of crime can also obtain their U visas. People that have been victims of trafficking can also obtain the T visas. So those things are still there. It's just that they are now properly scrutinized, and there is more. There's more oversight to be sure that these people are qualified or eligible for this relief before they can seek them. But yes, they are all still there. So people that are already in the US, if you can find a pathway to legal immigration, is very, very important. Find a pathway. All your reliefs are still there. If you've lived here 10 years, you still have cancellation of removal if you're put in removal proceeding. If you have lived here for 7 years and you're a green card holder, you still have your cancellation of removal for green card holders. If you are from the TPS countries, you can still apply for your TPS. If you are being tortured in your home country, you can still apply for asylum within the 1 year.
All right, hold on there, Barrister. Hold on there. Let's take this caller and with this question. Hello.
Hello, the Anchoman.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from La Republique, from the southern region.
Okay, what is on your mind? You have any question?
Yeah, I have 2 questions to ask to the barrister.
Okay.
So my first question is, those who went to United States of America through American lottery, will they be sent back too?
Okay.
And my second question is, if you have religion in the United States of America,
If you have what?
and you are a victim of those who
Take that second part again. If you have what?
I mean, if you have a small business managing in United States,
Okay.
yeah, so and you fall into a victim of those who are to be deported, are you going to ask for your settlement, or there's nothing you can do?
All right. Good question. Let the barrister take it, please. Those on the American lottery and those with some who came here, possibly they don't have the status but have businesses. What category do they fall here? Would they be deported? Thank you for the call.
Very good question, sir. Let me take it one by one. The first question is those who came here with lottery visas.
Yes.
Can they be deported? And the answer to that is no. Because they came here legally through the visa lottery process.
Right.
And they obtained their green card. So there are those categories that we were talking about, that if you're already here and you have your visa, you're okay.
Okay.
Now, regarding the people that came here who were undocumented or who did not have papers and they started a business here, and they now fall victim, or not victim actually, they're now being removed from the United States. I'm not sure that there is compensation for that. So that's why we talked about setting up, putting papers together. If you're in that position, you might want to hand over your business to someone who can take care of it. If you are in line to be deported for whatever reason, you might want to write a power of attorney for someone to take over your business, because I don't believe that there's a compensation, but there may be. I just don't know about that, because of the fact that you are here without papers already. Even though,
Okay.
because of the eminent domain law, that property cannot be taken without compensation, you may be entitled to compensation. But you have to hand over those things to someone who can help you, because if they remove you, you may not be able to fight it from outside the country.
So somebody who came here has succeeded to set up a business and probably is employing a few Americans to work and pay tax, would still fall under these deportation laws? No mercies?
That could happen if you are undocumented. But like I said, if you have started a business here, you employ Americans, whenever you are to be deported, there are some relief that you can get. If any of those relief apply to you, you can always seek those relief. Some of them you can seek with USCIS, others you can seek only in immigration court. So those reliefs are available for you if they're trying to remove you and go through the due process. But the issue we're having in this weather or this climate today under President Trump is that you may not get the due process that you need so that you can file your relief. So if you do not get that due process that you need to file your relief, you may be removed before you even know what hit you.
Okay, that's quite interesting. What advice would you give those who no longer have any process pending? They have filed, maybe the process denied, and they are just seated there not knowing what else to do. What would you advise them?
So if you don't have work permit, you don't have any type of permission to do anything, you may be able to remove yourself from the United States. In fact, under this second term or second regime of President Trump, people are advised to voluntarily deport, and they'll be paid for it.
Right, right. I think I've heard that. So they can just volunteer to have themselves repatriated. But the problem is, I hear people are being deported to countries that are not theirs. Hold the line, please. What do you do if you are deported to a country that is not yours? For example, I hear people are being deported to Rwanda, to South
Venezuela.
America, and stuff. Yes. What do you do in
Right.
that case?
It's a shame. It is a shame because they are deporting you to a country that you have no ties to. And that's what the immigrant communities advocates are fighting for, because that is not right. That the United States do not do that. That's not what we do in the United States. So they're fighting that. Yes, it has happened here or there. Everybody was watching what happened with the Venezuelan government regarding the guy that was put in there. Even to have a visitor was a problem. In that
Right.
case, all you can do is to get family members that are in the US, who are legal in the US, to get you someone that will fight on your behalf, because that is not right, to be removed to a country that you have no ties with.
All right. Let's get to this other caller here, please. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, please?
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Houston, Texas, and I have a question. I just wanted to know, with the immigration lawyer, is there is there any way we can contact her? And also another question. Beyond that, this is a question for some people that have humanitarian reliefs who their protective status have ended. So I wanted to know if they still have a pending, if they still have a pending court proceeding, what can they do? So, for example, those ones that their temporary protective status have run out and they still have a court process pending, what can they do?
Okay.
So if you're-
I will let
if
her
you're-
answer the question. Thank you for the call.
Okay, I think my phone is being put on the line. I can always be reached on my law office phone number 281-895-8003, or you can call my cell phone 832-693-1052. Now, regarding your second question, those that have humanitarian protection that no longer have anything because it has either been denied or something has happened and they are not able to do anything else, they will fall under the category of people that need to self-deport. But you're saying that the person has proceeding. You need to go to your proceeding and see to the end of it. Get a lawyer and go to your proceeding and do what you need to do. If after everything has failed, then you can voluntarily depart the United States.
So if everything has failed, I guess they can resort to the grace given by the DHS. They can have deport you to a third country, or if you want to go back to your country, I guess.
Right. The best option is for you to go to your country. Departing to a country that you have no ties with is very, very problematic.
All right. Barrister, it was a great pleasure having you here. I look forward to having you back one of these days as the situation changes. Thank you for coming in.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. Good night.
Good.
Precious.
From where?
From Douala.
Your complete name now.
Be Precious.
P Precious. From where? Douala.
Yes.
Which region? You are from which region in Cameroon?
Northwest.
Which village?
Um,
You are from Awi. Okay. You don't live for Lagos for Ogun State here for how long? 2 months. Who carry you come?
my sister.
How much they collect them for you? Who's one your sister?
I don't know. As I go to French church, I don't know.
How much they collect them for you time you come here?
I don't know now my sister.
Okay, now she pay.
Your sister dey
She
here.
dey here.
She be there. I don't know where she be. As I go to French church.
That fat one.
Where she find it?
I don't know. I go to French church. She meets me.
Douala. Your name, how long you don't dey play with come for Cameroon?
7 months. And then from Cambe. From Cambe. Prosper.
Prosper who?
Shamu. Made a stop again.
From where? You come pass from my back.
From Cambe also.
From Cambe also.
Look here.
How long you don't dey here?
Tatao. Eh? Severin from
Who
where?
dey come?
Cambe.
Where in Bamenda? Old town.
Okay. What's your name? Abongi Valentine. Prosper.
From where?
From Bawanki.
Ijon Kitingo. You.
Cambe. Cambe. Marseille.
Your village.
You.
Which village?
You. Abongi from Babanki. Abongi from Babanki. Princess.
From Babanki, Ijon Kiko. You. From where? Where? Where precisely in which region? Banjul. Madam. You.
My name is Joanne.
Joanne from where? Babanki. Ale. That's very interesting. You're my sister, eh? You.
You.
Kambe. Banike.
Eh?
Okay. You.
From where?
Ale. I'll call my Babanki president for Littoral. Me to go by you. Eh? From where? So that man where runs on a Babanki. So now for Babanki delegation they no problem. Eh? We are here to save you people. You people are going back to Cameroon. Your name? Huh? Join a name. Talk your complaint there, my friend. What? What? You are from where? Talk your truth. You just lie and we discover you there for very big trouble. You are from where?
I'm from Cameroon.
Where in Cameroon?
Bamenda.
Which village?
Jikwa.
Jikwa. Your name? What? From where? Which region? Which village in Bamenda? Jikwa. Madam, your name? Favor who? From where? Cameroon to Nigeria. Which village for Cameroon?
From Southwest region.
Which village? Which division?
Mudemba town.
Mudemba. Your own name? What?
Stephanie.
From where?
Cameroon.
Which region?
Northwest.
Norway. Which village?
Bame and Jikwa.
Jikwa. You, madam?
Douala.
From where?
From Cameroon.
From?
Cameroon.
Which region?
Southwest.
Which division?
Nzian.
Your village.
Ngolo.
Who bring you here?
Nobody said.
Una dey stay for the house, how many of una?
Where did the many people?
Be fast, we no get time.
They've gone out.
They will come.
Like how many people gone out?
Now how many una dey stay for this house?
How many of you here? 14.
They are here, 40 of them. You can see their bed. Una can't hear the sofa. Live with una family. You dey happy as you dey here? Una come back, una look, una go back to Cameroon today. Very fast, una pack load. Una pack load. See play where people dey sleep. Una go live una houses for Cameroon, can't dey suffer, dey sleep here.
Ni gbọ́ kó bolè á fọṣọ.
See how on the sleep for floor. Una dey pitch una own self. Una live una compound for Cameroon. Can dey suffer here? Dey sleep for floor. Hey, madam. Una pack very fast. Una will call the other people them say they don't bring chop for us. Me they can't chop. How many people you don't bring from Nigeria, my friend? See room, see play una dey sleep for bare floor. The suffer.
This one I say, na Kumbaman.
Yeah, na Kumbaman. Kumbaman. See how una can't suffer. You leave your village for Cameroon. Find girl like you. You don't there for how long?
Wait, now you ask me who be that?
No, officer, leave them. No worry. We'll take them. Now we'll daughter them. Now pack all that thing. Everything. All this house will bring. Not for the good day.
How many
you don't there for how long? You don't there for how long? Now yesterday you come. You be newcomer. You don't get their money, no? Thank God, you never get their money. You go back for Cameroon. You just newcomer. You say you are from Cameroon. Which place in Cameroon? Where in Yaoundé?
Where in Yaoundé? Where you from? Parle-le en français. Tu viens
de Cameroun?
Oui, à Yaoundé.
Où? Tu es de quelle région? Tu es de quel département?
Mbam.
Tu as fait combien de temps ici?
Je dois mettre de quel côté de Mbam?
Mbam. On va break the door. On va break that door. Tu as fait combien de temps ici? Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Toi là, oh. We are from where? Hein? You are from Togo. You don't there for how long? How many people you don't bring from Togo? You? Remove your cap.
You are from Togo.
You are from where?
Where from Togo?
Huh? Where in Cameroon? Voilà. Your names? Siri Junior. How many people you don't there for Nigeria for how long?
Just 2 months.
How many people you don't carry come? You?
Who did that?
You are from Togo.
You know,
You don't there for how long? Where in Togo?
if you know, believe her.
You don't see anybody inside. Leave am. Come out.
You have been here for how
I
long?
don't know, say na the same thing.
What? Tu as fait combien de temps ici? 3 mois. Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Tu vends quoi ici au Nigeria? Quel produit? Tu as ça ici, non? Tu vas nous amener ça. Toi? Tu es togolaise. Tu as fait combien de temps ici? Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Hein? Toi? Hein? Togo. Tu as fait combien de temps ici? Tu as fait venir combien de gens? Toi là, où? Toi, tu es où? Tu es de Togo. Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Tu as fait combien de temps ici? Et tu sais que c'est le 419 qu'on fait ici? Tu es au courant? Voilà. Your name? From where? Togo Lomé. Combien de temps que tu as fait ici? 3 mois. Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Madame, you?
Tu es Togolais, n'est-ce pas?
Hein?
Attention là-bas.
You are from? Cameroon, where?
You are from where? Togo.
Your tribe?
Togo. Togo.
Tu viens de quelle région de Cameroun?
Togolais monde. Toi, tu es Togo.
Hein?
Camerounais.
Comment tu dirais que tu es de Cameroun, tu es de Togo? Tu es d'où? Tu es Camerounien ou tu es Togolais? Tu es Camerounien? Camerounien où? Bafoussam. Où à Bafoussam? Tu es Bangaté, tu es Bafoussam, tu es Batié, tu es Bana, tu es où? Hein? Batié. Ton frère ici, tu vas aller parler par toi. Toi, tu es pour moi? Hein? Où? Au Cameroun? L'Ouest. Quel arrondissement, département? Ouda. À l'école. Comment tu t'appelles? Tu as fait combien de temps ici?
Non, il faut donner le nom entier, vraiment.
Tu as fait venir combien de personnes? Tu as fait combien de temps? Hein? Ça veut dire que tu viens d'arriver. On t'a pris combien d'argent? On est là pour vous sauver. Et si vous mentez là, il y a toi, il y a pour moi. Togo Lomé. Combien de temps ici? Hein? 2 mois. Tu as fait venir combien de gens? You? Tout bien nous. Lomé. Tu as fait combien de temps? Hein? My dear, you are from where? Hein? Tu es de Togo? Où à Togo? Lomé. Tu as fait combien de temps ici? Madame? Hein? Don't worry, we'll look their document. Man, when they be Togo, now they go know, he go take breakfast. They are from Togo, where? Lomé. Tu as fait combien de temps ici? 3 mois. Madame? Le nom? Ton nom? Sandrine n'est pas le nom de Togo. Dis le nom complet.
Ton nom entier.
Hein? Quoi? Kambe.
Oui, non, prononce le nom. Kambe. C'est togolais ça.
Ok, ne t'inquiète pas. Toi, madame?
C'est un des cycles là.
Hein? Me nobody know how the face do.
Bring your face up.
Take your hip up. Madam.
We no beat you, we no do anything for you.
All of you in Cameroon are with? Hein? Hein? You the Cameroon? Hein? Which one you going to do for Nigeria? Huh? Answer me now.
Answer now.
Huh? Guinness. Let me see your face. Tell your face up. Hello, what's your name? Huh? You from where? You go. Huh? You go. You go. Huh? Cameroon.
How many of you are recorded? Where do you get that?
Hello,
This one now.
From where?
And you don't feel who then today? Me nobody know how the face do.
Bring your face up.
Take your hip up. Madam.
We no beat you, we no do anything for you.
All of you in Cameroon are with? Huh? Huh? You the Cameroon? Huh?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking there on your screen of about 46 Cameroonians. I heard some Togolese are there, some, I think they said Gabon also are there, but we are told that there is a total of 46 Cameroonians in the group you find on your screen there. They were picked up in the Nigeria. They had been deceived to move from Cameroon into Nigeria, promising them jobs in South Africa, in different countries. And each time you brought somebody, they then cajole you to bring another person, and then at a point in time, their sponsor would disappear, leaving them in the room or the house you found there. Let me bring you a little details of what we know here. We have learned this early this morning, and these are the details that we have as of the moment. At least 47 Cameroonian nationals, that is Ambazonians mostly, were freed Saturday, January the 24th, in Ogun State, Nigeria, that is close to Lagos, after being held in a hidden camp where they were promised employment and upward migration opportunities. The local media and advocacy reports have confirmed from the ground in Lagos, Nigeria. According to reports, the group, made up of predominantly young men and young women, as you can see in those images, they journeyed from various parts of Cameroon, mostly the northern zone of Ambazonia, believing they were en route to legitimate job opportunities in West Africa and beyond, including Ghana, they said, South Africa, and European and American destinations. Their travel was brokered through recruiters in Nigeria, allegedly linked to fraudulent employment schemes that use the names of legitimate multinational brands to entice immigrants with lucrative work contracts. Upon arrival in Nigeria, we learn the Cameroonians, again numbering over 46, were taken to a secluded camp in a locality called Mowe in Ogun State of Nigeria, where conditions rapidly deteriorated. Survivors described congested living quarters, inadequate food, and strict controls on their movement. Some were reportedly forced to help recruit others under threat of punishment if they didn't. The liberation operation was carried out through a collaboration between Nigerian authorities, we learn, and local civil society partners, including one pastor called Pastor Tanyu Mike and his team, who have been active in identifying and assisting trafficked migrants in that community. The Nigerian police officers reportedly intervened after information surfaced about the victims' plight in that locality. Following their release, the freed Cameroonians, as you can see on your screen, were taken into the custody of the Nigerian police force in the same vicinity or community, that is Ogun State. Authorities have indicated that arrangements are underway for their safe repatriation to Cameroon, though specific timelines for return have not been publicly disclosed. This latest rescue is part of a broader ongoing pattern of human trafficking and migrant exploitation affecting Cameroonians in Nigeria and other West African states, especially Ambazonians escaping from the 9-year-old war, as you can see in that footage. Observers and migrant advocates note that false job offers and misleading promises of overseas opportunities are commonly used to lure vulnerable young people away from their homes, not just from Cameroon, but from most of West Africa. Once in Nigeria, victims may be coerced, the report says, into exploitative labor, confined or subjected to other abuses. Reports from civil society groups in Nigeria indicate that thousands of Cameroonians, particularly from the crisis-affected Anglophone regions or Ambazonia, have been trafficked or stranded in Nigeria after falling victim to similar schemes in recent years. Civil society advocates are urging regional authorities, including Nigerian law enforcement and Cameroonian diplomatic missions, to strengthen protections for vulnerable migrant populations, improve cross-border coordination, and hold traffickers and fraudulent recruiters accountable. However, in this case, the recruiters are nowhere to be found. They escaped. The Nigerian police force has been active in recent years, targeting trafficking syndicates and illegal recruitments. But advocates say more needs to be done to prevent such exploitation from occurring at source. And that is what we have learned. Will we stay on this story and continue to follow up with developments? And one thing that we note in the footages that you see on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, I hear some people who are acting as officials speaking in French. Who are they? If these girls and young men were picked up or were rescued by the Nigerian police, who are those officials speaking French, instructing them in French in the background? Now you will discover that throughout this footage, the security forces conducting this operation do not show their faces. We do not see them, we always see the victims. So we do not know whether this is an operation solely conducted by the Nigerian police force or in conjunction with other security forces, including those of Cameroon, because I listened to it and I could also hear one of the interrogators saying, "Oh, you come from Nkambe, my hometown," or something. I mean, something to that effect. And so I'm not so sure whether the entire interrogation is being conducted here by Nigerian security force. It seems there are some Cameroon operatives in the operation. But let me bring in my panel to have a discussion on this subject, ladies and gentlemen. I am being joined by Sama Thomas, joining me from Europe, precisely Belgium, and Sebastian Mbariku, joining from the state of Maryland, where it is covered by snow. Let me start from Belgium. Comrade Thomas, it's a pleasure to have you back, sir.
Thank you for having me, Comrade Chris, and good afternoon. And let me say hi to my fellow Comrade Mbariku.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having you. You have listened to the footage of that video, and you listened to my news release on it. This is quite. I like words to describe it. Looking my own countrymen and countrywomen. They could be my sisters. They could be my brothers. They are here wasting their lives here for no fault of their own. These are just young men and women who thought they could better their life by escaping a war that they did not cause in their own part of the country. And here are they have been they've been exploited of their money, because what I learned is they became so many. The number you find on your screen there, because when they get you, brought you into the camp, they scold you and coerce you to bring in another person. Tell another person of the opportunities that exist out here. If you just follow us, if you just join us, oh, you're going to get a job there, you're going to get a job here, you're going to get an employment here. And ignorantly, the people follow their lead and join them in Nigeria without any assurances the job existed. But again, this is no fault of their own. The fault goes back to where they are coming from. Let me hear your thoughts about this, please.
Comrade Chris, education is the key. The question I will ask any Southern Cameroonian that love the Southern Cameroons, not escaping from the war that is going on in the Southern Cameroons, but going to search for greener pastures in Nigeria or wheresoever. Did that person ask his or herself the population of Nigeria? Nigeria is over 200, if I'm not mistaken, 250 million people. The unemployment rate in Nigeria is over 90%. So if somebody from Nigeria is coercing you to leave the Southern Cameroons or any part of Africa to come to Nigeria to seek for a job opportunity in Ghana or in South Africa, why don't you sit and ask the question, has this person exploited all the opportunities in Nigeria from Nigerians to offer them that job, that are in need of that job even more than you, before coming to you to grant you that opportunity? Have you asked yourself that question? Or you just sit there, you heard that there's a job opportunity from Nigeria to South Africa to Ghana, and you carry yourself into Nigeria and you are stuck in Nigeria, or coerce other of your brothers to come in for that same scheme or scam, of which it is a chain that will never end. Had it been this intervention from the Nigerian security never step in, that scheme will never end. Many people will be victims. Have you asked the Ghana? Togo is just a footstep to Ghana. How can someone leave Togo? Because all those guys that are calling themselves they are Togolese in that group, they are not from Togo. If you leave Togo to Nigeria, you have to go through Benin before you find yourself into Nigeria. If you are leaving Togo to Nigeria to have a job opportunity in Ghana, why don't you leave Togo direct into Ghana, of which it will take you nothing to go to Ghana? Even in Togo,
well, I guess, comrade, I wouldn't want to blame it on those guys because I guess if somebody is in Nigeria, especially your own family person who has been abducted the same way, and he is in Nigeria telling you, come over, we'll find something here. And I believe if you look at those people, probably many of them are related. So if you have a brother or a sister in Nigeria and is telling you, come, there are opportunities here, you come. How would you not believe your own brother or sister or town guy who is telling you, we found opportunities here?
Well, Comrade Chris, that brother will achieve and prosper in that job and me, because since in my entire life I've told myself that for me to leave the Southern Cameroon into Nigeria, which is not at war, but the war that is going on in Nigeria is even more than that in Somalia. I better prepare myself and get in Somalia, knowing that I'm going into a full-scale war zone, and I've prepared myself for that situation, than going into Nigeria, where there is that relative calm or peace in Nigeria, but it is at war. I will not get into that type of a situation. It is just because our people don't read. Our people don't want to understand the situation of other nations in the world. Had it been our people were reading or struggling to investigate what is going on where in their neighborhood, they will not be falling victims of this type of scheme. Let me tell all Southern Cameroonians that are listening to us now, don't leave the Southern Cameroons that you are going to Ghana for a job opportunity. Don't leave the Southern Cameroons that there is an agent that is going to offer you a job even in Dubai. Don't leave the Southern Cameroons that there is an agent that is going to offer you a job in South Africa. If you want to go to South Africa to seek for a job opportunity, get to the South African embassy, obtain a visa from the South African embassy to South Africa, not via an agent that is luring you into trouble, that you should go through Nigeria before you get to South Africa. Which embassy were you going to obtain a visa from Nigeria to go to South Africa? Which embassy were you going to obtain a visa from Nigeria to go to Ghana, of which Ghana is banning Nigerians from coming to Ghana? And you think that you will go to Ghana as a Southern Cameroonian to obtain a visa from the Ghanaian embassy into Ghana? Now, you ask yourself, if the Ghanaian government has employed Ghanaians who are unemployed in Ghana and they are in shortage of personnel to fill the job market in Ghana before you are going there to be employed, have you asked yourself this question? Before leaving your own comfort zone to go to the wilderness, not knowing where you're going to, because you want to be employed.
All right, hold on.
This is how people move into hostile territories like Libya, that when they reach there, they are being sold or sold in the market as commodities, as slaves, or they are being sold as tools for part harvesting. Please stop all these things. Do not fall into this trap to hand yourself over for your part to be harvested. Maybe your remains dumped elsewhere and your family will never get you again. These guys are even lucky because this is just a tip of the iceberg. That we are saying.
All right, hold on there, Comrade Sama. I like Sebastian to listen to this. Most of these, quite a number of them are from Njikwa, somewhere in Momo. I don't know how. I mean, quite a number of them. Just as I said, one of them is picked or lured, coerced to get there, and once they are there, they call their friends, they call their relations, and say there are opportunities here, whereas there are none. And as a result, you find quite a handful of them in Kambe, Momo, a few from the southern zone. I like Sebastian to listen to this first, then get to him.
Name?
I'm Precious.
What?
I'm Precious.
From where?
From Douala.
The same name.
Your complete name now?
Precious what?
P Precious.
P Precious. Yes. From where? Douala?
Yes.
Which region? You are from which region in Cameroon?
Northwest.
Which village?
Awi.
You are from Awi?
Yes.
Okay. You don't live for Lagos, for Ogun State here for how long? 2 months. Who carry you come?
My sister.
Yes.
How much they collect them for you? Who's your sister?
I don't know. As I go put for church, I don't know.
How much they collect them for you time you come here?
I don't know now my sister.
Okay, now she pay.
Your sister dey
She
here.
dey here.
She be there. I don't know where she be. As I
You can hear that. They say, how did you get here? She said, my sister. How much was collected to you? Only my sister know because she's the one who paid. Listen more. And she's from Awing, that is around Santa area in Bamenda there.
That fat one.
Where you find it?
I don't know. I go put for church. She makes me.
Your name, how long you don't dey play with come for Cameroon?
7 months. Then from Cameroon.
And observe there, comrades, observe there. Listen to the accent of the interviewer there. It is Cameroonian accent. It's not Nigerian.
Comrade Chris, let me come in. I've listened to that for
All right,
so
come
many
in,
times.
come in there.
This is so emotional. I can tell you this is really emotional. Hi, Comrade Sama Thomas, fellow televiewers. This is so emotional. I don't know where to start, but I will first of all say, Comrade Chris, all these people you see are from Cameroon. There is none of them from Togo. You can get it from their accent. All of them are from Cameroon. When you asked me to come to the show, I called one of my cousins, and he narrated me the whole of this scam. What happened is, probably the 46 you are seeing, probably it started with 5 of them coming. And he said, when they bring you, they will tell you to bring another family member. And if you don't bring, they start threatening you that they're going to kill you. You are not going to go back. You're going to die. And they will intimidate you, do all type of things to have you bring another family member. When the family member comes, they due that family member to bring another family member. So as you see there, I think probably I can say 70% of them are related to each other, because most of them there are related. And again, like Comrade Sama was saying, they are not coming here, or they are coming to Nigeria was not to work in Nigeria. You know, every Cameroonian want to travel out of Africa. They just simply tell them they will go to Mexico. From Mexico, they will cross to the United States. That is their goal. None of them was coming with the aim of working in Nigeria or Ghana. They bring them and tell them, promise them that from Nigeria, they are going to make them visas to go straight to Europe or United States via Mexico. That's why most of them will buy the story. I see them, all of them, they're not even well fed. Like it's so. My cousin said his brother was there for 2 years in one of those camps. He actually lived there for 2 years, and he called him to send him money, which he did. He sent him $4,000. At the end of the day, he escaped before he was saved. He's probably I think he should be somewhere in the Philippines now, but he was in one of these camps. Let me answer a question of the interviewer. You know, Cameroon has a boundary with Nigeria, and some people in Cameroon that have naturalized in Nigeria are police officers. I have a brother that is a teacher. He's a professor in Nigeria. Comrade Chris, you live in Nigeria. You know, someone could be a Cameroonian and work in Nigeria. So these people, I don't think they are Cameroonians. They are Nigeria. They are Cameroonians that are naturalized in Nigeria and working in Nigeria.
But what would they be doing there, interrogating people like this?
Well, if they work with the police force, from all indications, they work with the police force, and because they work with the police force, they I just say they are some security people, because from their way, even from their accent, you will see that he speaks French, but he has, Cameroon. We call Cameroon as Cameroonians Cameroon, but Nigerians call Cameroon.
Yeah.
So when you already live in Nigeria, like my brother that lives in Nigeria, he calls Cameroon. So I think this is a Cameroonian that naturalized in Nigeria and is working in Nigeria. So I am so happy that this is happening. I think they should go look for more of these camps to free these vulnerable Cameroonians that are just ferried into Cameroon for no good reasons.
Sama, you have other thoughts on this?
Well, the only thing I can say, Comrade Chris, is that our people should avoid these scammers from luring them into these situations in Nigeria. Have they ever said to ask themselves, Nigerians are scrambling to cross over into the southern Cameroons? This is what I know. Nigerians are scrambling to cross over into southern Cameroons. Was it good in Nigeria? Is it good in Nigeria that Nigerians are scrambling to cross over into southern Cameroons? When they are coming, you as a southern Cameroonian, sitting there, seeing them coming, you are instead crossing there for a job opportunity. Was it good for these people in Nigeria before they are scrambling to cross over into southern Cameroons? Have you asked yourself that question? What is pursuing these people from Nigeria to cross over to southern Cameroons? When they are coming to southern Cameroons of greener pastures, and you are living in southern Cameroons where Nigerians are scrambling to cross over for greener pastures, and you are going there. Was it good there before they are leaving to come?
But you know, Sama, they are not necessarily crossing to live in Nigeria. Understand that the promise is come. We are sending you to companies abroad that will give you jobs.
Understand.
Correct. That's the thing.
Let me add an element here. During the height of the Syrian crisis, when they were swimming into Turkey, I told people that the wave of migrants that were leaving Turkey into Europe were not Syrians. They were Turkish people, because Turkish people were looking for an opportunity to leave Turkey to Europe. So they would not sit and see you Syrians coming to move across to Europe while they are seated there to allow you go to Europe. So what am I simply saying here? I cannot be seated here looking for an opportunity to move, and I will leave you to come from another area of the world to come and grab that opportunity of which I'm seated here, instead of grabbing it and allow you to get it. This is the first thing that Southern Cameroon must take into consideration. If there is any opportunity of an overseas employment that is to come from Nigeria, Nigerians will first of all want to benefit from it, not to allow you to come from Southern Cameroon and benefit from that opportunity. Beware of this fact before you put yourself into harm's way.
Comrade Sama, do you know, have you ever been convinced by a family brother for traveling purposes, especially when they are out of Cameroon? Listen, the thing is, you don't know. When you are in Cameroon and somebody is in Nigeria, that person in Nigeria feels like he's already in America, he or she's in America, and anything they tell you, you're going to accept, because every Southern Cameroonian, their goal is to leave Cameroon. Their goal is to leave Southern Cameroon, or Cameroon as a whole. Cameroon is not okay. So if somebody is out there, especially when those scammers force you, tell you what to tell them, they give you a language to tell your brother. They give you a language sister. So most of them, like Comrade Chris said in his monologue, most of them are not to blame. we have to blame the initial scammers that came up with this scheme. And I think if the Nigerian government lay hands on these people, they should really deal with them.
Comrade, I have a very bad experience with Nigerians when I was back home. And with that experience, I said, I will never step my leg into Nigeria no matter what. My late brother's best friend, classmate, was killed in the 90s. He was doing business with Nigerians in Nigeria. This guy was killed, slaughtered, his body thrown into the River Katsina in the 90s. It's not only this guy Adewanje, it's not only Adewanje that has gone through that faith. Many Southern Cameroonians have gone through that faith with Nigerians. These are people you cannot endeavor to trust even for a moment. So I've been one of those persons that I've told myself Nigeria is a no-go zone. So far as I'm concerned.
Comrade Sama, you are blaming the wrong set of people here. The scammers are they are Southern Cameroonians. I should make this clear. No Nigerian is involved in this scam. Trust me. From what my kid brother said, no Nigerian is involved in this scam. The scammers are from Cameroon. They are from La Republic. They are from Southern Cameroon. When it is their scam, they leave Southern Cameroon, take like 5 of them, cross them to Nigeria, and then when they get to Nigeria, they abandon there in Nigeria and leave. No Nigerian is involved in this scam. They are just accomplices. Like they just provide them the accommodation. But most of these scammers that take these guys to Nigeria are actually Southern Cameroonians and Cameroonians. You want to verify?
In this aspect, comrade, we will need to get the identity of these scammers so as to know how to handle them back.
Yes, let us look at another angle of this story here. Again, let's put the blame where it should. The blame should be put squarely on the Cameroon government. Prior to this war, you never found, let me use a general context, Cameroonians fleeing the country this way to look for greener pastures. They were all trying to live their lives at home, go to school, find work. But you find a regime that has chosen Ambazonia as scapegoats. Everything has gone down the drain and the people are now trying to go anywhere to help themselves. Why should the people be blamed other than the person or the institution responsible? That is the war in Ambazonia declared by La République du Cameroun. Comrade Sama, please.
Had it been these our brothers and sisters and kids were in Nigeria as refugees, I don't think I could have been making the statement I'm making now. But unfortunately, they are not in Nigeria as refugees. They left the Southern Cameroon into Nigeria to search for greener pastures or with the pretense that they were going to obtain visas to go to South Africa or to Ghana. There is a problem. That is a problem by itself, that you allow yourself to be used as such by another Southern Cameroonian. The money you use to give it to that individual to go to Nigeria is money enough you could have used to start off a petty business, either in the Southern Cameroons, or you cross over to La République du Cameroon as you claim to start a business with, or you go to that same Nigeria with that money to buy goods to come back and sell either in La République du Cameroon or in the Southern Cameroons, and not to give it to a scammer to enrich him while you impoverish your own family. It is not. I cannot understand that type of thing.
Sebas.
Yes, I think, Comrade Chris, you are right. The blame here has to go to the Cameroon government, because it's really disturbing. It's disturbing. If you look at these children, most of them are under 30 years old.
Yeah.
And if you see a population of under 30 fleeing the country, then there's something. Look at little children. Where are they going to? I saw a video of somebody posted a video today of Jikwa town. It is completely empty. Completely empty. These are the youths that are supposed to be building Jikwa town, but because of bad governance, everybody is leaving. Everybody is living. There's nobody. And what I think we should do is we need to come up with shows to educate. This guy is from Jikwa. He said he's from Jikwa. And he really looks like a Jikwa guy, the one president on the screen. We need to educate our people. We need to educate them to the money they spend, even if it's 500,000 CFA, which is $1,000, they can use this and start some sort of petty business. They can even open farms. That is the education we need to start giving them, because it is just lack of education. They just sit and think that coming out here in the diaspora is heaven and heaven on earth. No, we need to start giving them this education that if you have 500,000, because most of them here, there's none of them that has not spent less than 1 million CFA. And with Cameroon now, if you start a business with 1 million, you are going to move mountains. But that zeal of them, of everybody trying to go out of the country, it's what is putting these 46 vulnerable Cameroonians into harm's way. So we need to come up with strategies and see how we can educate Cameroonians, Southern Cameroonians, on how to use the little they have to start businesses or to or probably open farms, poetries, piggeries, farms, or something like that to make a living. It's not only going out of the country that you can make a living.
Well, and, let's do this in the days ahead. We will try to reach out to see if we can speak to some of these brothers and sisters out there in Nigeria to see if we can get some details about their story. But in the meantime, I'd like us to discuss briefly something else that you all know is coming up, talking about 11 February. 11 February, the day that Ambazonians were made slaves. It is coming up in a year of serious preparations going on the ground by La République du Cameroon officials. They are trying to have it the best they've had, I guess, in the past 9 years. What message would you pass to Ambazonians on the ground, Comrade Sama, when it comes to the celebration of any so-called national day that is talking about 11 February, 20th May, being planned on the ground by La République du Cameroon? What message would you give to Ambazonians?
The message I can give to the people of the Southern Cameroon so far as 11 February is concerned is that there is no point going out to march on the 11th of February, because if you go out to march on that day, you are going to march to celebrate the fact that you are a slave to La République du Cameroon. Had it been there was any union between the people of the Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, the day the two countries could have celebrated as a national day was 11 February and not 20th May. The two parties will be celebrating 11 February as a day that brought all of us together, while the people of the Southern Cameroon will celebrate 1st of October as their Independence Day, and our Republic celebrates 1st January as their Independence Day. But if you ask the common man on the streets of the Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, what is the essence of celebrating 11 February? What happened on 11 February? Can they tell you exactly what happened on the 11th of February? Everybody just goes out there that they are going to celebrate your day. Your day, that what happened, that you are celebrating it as your day. They've never given you an explanation about you of that day, how they turned it to your day. As I heard, 11 February before was celebrated as Empire Day.
Yeah.
When the British trusteeship was still going on in the Southern Cameroon, before it was turned to the so-called plebiscite day in Southern Cameroon. So please, do not waste your time. Going out on 11th of February, that you are celebrating 11th February, is just to go and tell the master that I am happy, that I am your slave. That is why we are marching Why Mr. Governor, the GO, the SGOs and the GOs, they are crossing their legs at the grandstand while the slaves are marching past by, and the master is seated there. That look at my slaves marching across, celebrating their slavery day. Are you happy to celebrate your own day that you were taken as a slave? If you will not be happy, if you are not happy, then do not go out to celebrate such a, it's a day of shame and must be treated as such. Everybody on that day, stay indoors. Stay indoors. It's a day of mourning and not a day of celebration.
Let me weigh in, Comrade Sama. I think you've said everything. You've said all that that can be said about this 11th of February. All I'm urging Southern Cameroonians is stay home. We've been doing this for the past 9, getting to 10 years. Stay home. We don't have any reason to celebrate the 11th of February. You don't want to put your life at on harm's way. Just stay home, especially in Bangui. I'm pleading with everybody that is in Bangui, especially my family in Bangui. You guys stay home on 11th February. It is not safe to go out on 11th February. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, stay home on 11th February.
All right. I think I can't emphasize it enough. We have talked about this over the years, and I believe Ambazonians know that 11 February has nothing to do with us going out to celebrate, because we consider it the beginning of slavery, the beginning of official slavery in Ambazonia, thanks to La République du Cameroon. And so, we know there are talks out there about high spirit preparation for 11 February. We hope that no school out there in the southern Cameroons would go out to participate in any march past. We hope no school wants to do that or is preparing to do that. Doing that would mean returning to our vomit, because we've boycotted that so-called 11 February Youth Day. How it became Youth Day, we have no idea. But we boycotted that, we objected to it, we even banned it 9 years ago, and we're not going back to it. We stand by it, and the restoration forces of Ambazonia must make sure that 20th May, 11 February are no events in Ambazonia for as long as they are being organized by La République du Cameroun authorities. I will come back to that subject in the subsequent shows, but comrade, let's go back to let's open the phone lines and listen to what our audience have to say about these abductions in Nigeria, and also this 11 February event that we are trying to warn people to stay away from. Let me first of all get to the my phone here with some messages that have been sent here from our listeners, and so I have this voice message from somebody sending it from I think he's sending from Douala. Let's listen to it.
This matter for people of Nigeria. Stand for Cameroon here. You get Cameroon, Nigeria, and Ghana. Their office there, Bafusam and Douala. You call you for they say they would pay you 100,000 francs a week, or 220,000 francs a week. And from there, a business partner, they always Malaysia and Australia. They are using 2 countries inside there, Cameroon come and get hand because last 2 years, 2023, they come together for Douala.
I think that message ended abruptly. But I was interested in the part where he said they operate right inside Cameroon and they have offices in Bafoussam and Douala. Yes, Sama, go on.
So, La République has run out of scheme of publishing concours for employment, and they've gone external to lure our people to come and compile dossiers to have employment opportunities in Malaysia and maybe the Philippines. Southern Cameroonians, even if a brother of yours comes to tell you they want to go to Malaysia for an employment opportunity, tell that person or La République Cameroon's government that Malaysians are running over to Dubai for employment. Malaysians are running over to Kuwait.
And even in Dubai, there is no guarantee you get a job, because I've heard of the
Dubai
same stories, even worse ones. In Dubai
is the worst. Dubai is worst.
So why should the state even lure you? This is just a simple way of luring you to go to an area, but they've tried to kill you. They don't get the means to kill you openly like they are doing, and they say, let us just hand you over as a sacrificial lamb to Nigeria.
We'll do our findings and get some of these numbers to these offices. We will do that. And once we get these numbers, we are going to deal with these people. Trust me on this. We'll get those offices. We'll get to those offices.
All
if
right.
If anybody listening has a number to those offices, please call and send that number to us, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be very critical. If you know any of those offices, be it in Nigeria, in Bafoussam, in Douala, or anywhere else, let us know, please. Use that number on your screen to text us. Let's get to the phone lines here. Hello.
Yes, Comrade Chris, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Washington. I'm Mr. E.
Okay. What is on your mind?
Yes, I want to clarify something based on this guy who was talking in the background in Nigeria.
Okay.
That is my personal friend. He's not a scammer. He's my personal friend. I know him when I went to Nigeria. I had an opportunity from Washington to Nigeria.
Hold on. Are you referring to one of the commentators, interrogators in that video?
The interrogator, yes. His name is Amadu. If you want him in this show, I will do everything to connect you and him.
That'll be good.
So he can give you a lot of
Wonderful. Is he serving in the security or he's just a civilian?
No, this guy is when I got to Nigeria, I just wanted to explain you something.
Yeah.
When I got to Nigeria, he picked me from the airport, and then he is in charge of what they call like the Cameroon community, that when they have a problem in Nigeria, the police or the immigration can say, hey, one of your Cameroon brother is here that is found on this scamming thing.
Yeah.
So they would take him. He has a small motel that is running it in Lagos. So as I'm saying, he will be the one to explain in more detail, because he's a brother to me. He has lived in my house in Boya. He's a very nice guy.
Wonderful.
He bought people ticket from Nigeria to Mexico. He's a clean guy, so he's not part of this mess that people are thinking. He's just trying to help, because even myself, when I got there, I have to help some of these girls to go back to Cameroon. I give them personal money to go back to Cameroon. I said, this is coming. So he's helping these people to go back to their destination. This guy is coming from Indok. He's an Indok guy. He has worked with Amadou Dampolo He was running the Toleti estate, so he's not that kind of a person.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to talk to him, I will give you his number when you finish your show, and I will ask him, is it possible to give your number to Chris Anu so that you guys can talk? He will tell you more detail about all this scam. So that is my clarification. I wanted to clarify the people in the studio to know that I was in Nigeria August 2024, and I rescued part of these Cameroon people in his hand to go back to Cameroon. So it's a very big network. It's a very big network. That the other guy was sending me a voicemail in Douala. I think part of Cameroon government, people are in the government. I think they are connived with this thing because he has been running for a long time.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Listen, I will reach out to you after the show and get that number, please. Thanks for the call. Let me get to other callers.
All right.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Okay, and what do you have in mind?
Yes, I heard Brother Sama Thomas saying he's not understanding what is going on there. I think some of us have been a victim, and we can best explain.
How were you a victim?
Yeah, I was involved. So you find people there. It's easy for you to reject, because actually, if you ask Sama, how did those people get your number? They use somebody who knows you very well, who can talk to you very well. Just of recently, a friend is calling me that he's in Namibia, and he's asking me to pass through Nigeria to Cote d'Ivoire. Then I say, how can I go? How can I be going to Namibia? That is just a site here. Then I'm taking off, instead of going either to Congo to go to Namibia, then I'm going to Cote d'Ivoire.
The West.
And he is a colleague, he's a friend that was in Cameroon here. Now, they have a kind of way of doing with these people so that they can bring you in. Those children that you see there, they are not to be blamed. They are not to be blamed.
Yeah,
they were not taking them to go to Nigeria. They were not taking them there. They tell you that you have, they have looked for you, that your sister herself, that he has looked for you a job in Burkina Faso. And he is already, at times they even give you money to come over.
Yeah, I have heard of those Burkina Faso schemes too, quite a number of them. They tell you they got you a job in Burkina Faso because Burkina Faso is rebuilding, lots of jobs, opportunity, and people are convinced and they fall into it.
The temptation is too high for those guys. It doesn't mean that these guys, they were not having something to do here. I've saved some even in Betua on the way. I've saved some in Cameroon, in Douala here itself. I've saved some. So it's not like these people don't know they are this. No, we should not blame them. We should even be thanking God that some people have helped us to. There are some on the road now as we are talking. There are some on the road now because the education has not been given to people. You see somebody, I say it's a friend, a colleague, a teacher, that is even using a number to call you.
Mm-hmm.
To lure you to come there, where he knows that it's because he too is under pressure.
Right.
He's under pressure to do that.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Thank you too.
All right. Sama, I see you nodding your head.
No, this is making a lot of sense to me because past few weeks, my kid brother has been calling me that a friend of his is telling him to bring 3 million and he will be sent to Canada.
Chris, in the 90s, when I was still in Mancon, some of these scammers came to me that there is a job opportunity in Australia and we need to register, which I did with 2,500. they said traveling was free to get to Australia. Later on, they came back to me that I need to pay some money. I back out from it with immediate effect. Because I said, this here is no longer what you guys told me. This is scam. So I back out from it. What am I telling our people? Our people should be able to understand, deduce from what is real and what is not real. If you are being trapped, always struggle to get back what was introduced to you first and what is coming second. If you can get to these two stories, what came first and what is coming second, then you will always be on the safe side from these scammers.
All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's get back to the phones. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, where are you calling from, please?
This is the same man who Saudi Cameroonian was calling from the South region.
Okay. What do you have to add?
Yeah, I just want to contribute to this issue of this Nigerian adoption.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can say I was one of the victim on October to September to October.
Okay.
Which was the program started. The program started this way. I have my friend who was in South Africa, whom I was together with him in Cambe when I was in Form 5, writing O level and advanced level. We're together. We even slept on one bed. So when I came here now in the South region, I saw him on Facebook. I asked him, "Where are you?" He said, "Oh, how is South Africa? That is in Pretoria. How is Pretoria?" He said, "No, everything is good. South Africa is a heaven. South Africa is 10 times better than Cameroon." I said, "Okay, wow, that is good." He said, "So what am I doing here?" I said, "No, school from a vocational school, which my department is a motor mechanic." So he said, "No, here in South Africa, the department, the mechanic companies here, they are not like garage, they are companies." From then I say, if I can table my documents, or send my documents to him, he'll go and look for one company. If my documents at them, do transactions so that I can come to South Africa through the company. So when that time reached now, send him the documents, all my documents that he needed, send everything. And then now, he said the director is going to call me directly through WhatsApp. The director called me and let me say, I sent the document at 2 o'clock. At 6 o'clock in the evening, the director called. We were discussing. They said I should prepare for interview tomorrow. When tomorrow reached, I prepared for the interview. There was a lady that was calling. The lady interviewed me. What is my reason of going to South Africa? How much do I need to be paid? Do I need to work like a single?
Did they ask you for your qualifications?
Yes, they asked everything.
Okay.
They asked everything.
And they asked you how much. They asked you how much you want to earn.
Yes, they asked me how much I want to earn.
And what did you say?
What I said, since this is my first time, I've never been to South Africa, so I don't know how their currencies. I mean, their own money is big compared to Cameroon, so I don't know how I can call the amount.
Okay, so to cut the story short, what happened next?
From there now, after speaking to that lady, the lady told me that I will receive a call the next day if I have been accepted or not. The next day after that day, I received a call around 12 o'clock. Congratulations. Received that I've been appointed as. Yes.
Appointed as what?
From then now.
Director of the company.
There's a certain position, whether it's the chief manager or what like that, because I have a diploma in automotive engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. From there now, they send me a particular, that means a document that is signed by the director.
So leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it there. Yes, leave it there. Did you actually go there? Travel there?
No. Oh, I did not.
Why? What happened?
I did not that particular day because the money, the days they gave for me to look for that money was very the time was little.
How much money were they asking for?
800,000.
800,000 CFA.
800,000. Yeah.
Okay. And when you did not pay the money within this specified period, did they do follow up after, like calling and say, if you can't afford 800, just come with 500 and pay the rest after?
Exactly. That is what happened. They even say that I should look for 500, they will add the remaining 300.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for the call. All right. I see many people trying to call. Go ahead and call. The line is free. Go ahead and call. So this thing, the whole thing is a scam. And
it's a scam. It's a scam.
People, through their own friends, close friends, who are in the hook over there, trying to, just as we listen in that footage, they said they will tell them to bring in somebody. That if they bring in somebody, they will receive their freedom. And so that's how their population grew. Their goal is to bring others in. Okay, the line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Sebastian, you want to say something there? That's good.
Yeah, I was saying that I said it before. I'm still saying it, that it now comes to me. My kid brother has been on me. Like my mom has to send 3 million. He want to go to Canada. His friend is calling him. He said the friend is in Zimbabwe or where. This is the same scam, and we tell them, they don't listen. So we just need to educate these people, educate our siblings, educate Southern Cameroonians that all this is just a scam. Believe if they ask you 1 million you don't have, they will go down to 500. They just want to get anything they want to get from you.
All right.
Like I said, about the scam to Australia, which they took 2,500 from me. What the guy from the south is explaining, it's exactly what I went through. But I turned it. Yes. I went through that process, exactly through that process. There's no difference.
All right, let's get to this call here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Canada.
Okay. And what is on your mind, sir?
Yes, sir. I just want to give a contribution to to your program.
All right.
In relation to my little niece, which of course is one of the victims, but she was not. She's not among the people who I'm seeing on the videos. So I just want to share her own experience in relation to what.
Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah. So my mom used to pay some fees in Biaka. She takes care of her, and after some time, she said the landlady requested her rent to be paid not more in installment, but in full.
Yeah.
So my mom went ahead and sent her the money, and After some time, she went offline for like over a week, and then she called back and said, "Mom, can you guess what?" My mom said, "What's happening?" She was like, "Oh, I'm now in South Africa." My mom like, "South Africa? How come?" She said she got a job in one of the biggest grocery stores in South Africa. I was like, "How come? How do you navigate to South Africa?"
Yeah.
She said she went through a friend. Then she said the friend wanted to talk to you. And my mom said, "Okay." Then the friend took this phone and said, "My mom, you know what? Your daughter is safe. Your daughter is okay, and we thank God that she is in a good position now that she can take care of herself and even some other family members. And of course, she's not gonna have ask any money from you or any other family member." I said, "Really?" Then immediately my mom called me and, "Can I like pass home like to see her?" I said, "Okay." So when I came, she gave me the number, and I asked the guy like, "Okay, I want to talk to you on a video call. You say you're in South Africa with my sister, right? Who are you?" She said, the guy responded, he's just a friend to my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, let me try to talk to you, because that is my niece, and of course we hold her so well, like she's like my sister. And my mom takes responsibility for her, because even her own parents back home, they are like, they don't have anything." So she said, "No." The guy said, "No, everything is fine." Then after some time now, they called and said, the guy said they have tried and they needed money to pay for like housing for the first month. And I said like, and also pay some bills for our visas to whatsoever to process. I said, "How much is that?" They gave me the money was like in the South African rand. So I converted it. It was like almost 4,000 Canadian dollars.
Oh.
I said, "Oh, really? 4,000? Yeah." So 4,000 Canadian dollars. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I give the phone to my sister. He gave the phone, and "Are you okay? What's happening? Can you talk to me in our dialect?" Because the guy in question is from Oya. He does not understand our dialect. "Can you talk to me?" He said, "No, uncle." It's like, "Everything is fine. We just got from next month, they're gonna start paying us, and our visa is gonna be processed, and everything will be fine." I said, "Okay. In that case, I want to talk to you on a video call.
Yeah.
Can you switch the call on a video?" He said, "No, the network here is not stable," and blah blah blah. I said, "Okay." I talked to that guy. "Can you please show me your location, like live location?"
Yeah.
They went and formatted the certain location and like copy and send to me. I said, "No, I want to call you on a video. You share me your screen, and I'm seeing right there in front of you that you're sharing me your location on WhatsApp." He said, "No, I'm trying to help you." I said, "Oh, that's now you're trying to help. Now you're telling me you're trying to help, right? Okay, that's fine." After some time, they started calling. The guy called again. I said, "Your sister is about dying." They called my mom. They don't want to talk to me. They're like, your son was talking too rude to us. We are trying to help." They said, "Your sister is dying. Your sister is not in oxygen. Your daughter is not on oxygen." My mom called me again. I left work and I came back after when they said, I said, "Okay, send us, I want to talk on the video. I want to see him on oxygen." They took a picture, like they just put some stuff and said he's now on oxygen. I laughed and I told them, "Bro."
Oh, they took a picture of her with some stuff on the face like oxygen.
Exactly. I still have the photos right here in my phone. This is something like a month ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, I told them that, okay, in that case, since you don't want to take a video call, and the place does not even look like a hospital where somebody's under oxygen, I said, "Bro, you are trying to do this thing with somebody that is smarter than you. So what I am telling you to do, take this phone, switch on a video, show me the hospital, and also share me your live location. If you don't know how, you say, "I don't know how to do that," I don't know. I said, "Okay, I will teach you how to switch your phone on the video call, and I'll also teach you how to like share your screen with me, and I will tell you where to touch for you to share your live location with me." He said, no, I'm not going to do that kind of work. If you, now I've done everything, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. If you can't help, how are you people so heartless that you cannot help your own? Is it because it's not your direct sister? Is it because your mom was so? I said, man, listen, this girl was schooling. She was in Biaka. None of us in our own house even attended that type of school. We go to our government schools. So do not try to speak as if you want to like intimidate or you want to say as you are in a position of helping. But what I will tell you, do you know what? We have lost people. I'm a die-hearted Ambazonian. We have fought, we have sacrificed, and we have also done a lot. So my friends, family members have also gone down, and they are even more than what you are thinking. They are even more than her. If she deserves to die, let her die. If you guys don't want to do this, I'm sorry for saying this, but those are my words. So they know very well that this money you are calling, I would not, because I've been in a situation where I've advised two of my friends, which they did not listen, and they end up telling me their stories after spending million francs in Nigeria. I told him right there that, bro, you guys are in Nigeria, so don't try to do it. I've been in Nigeria, I know everything. I've stopped another guy from going to Burkina Faso. So they call, they started calling, they call another family member in Cameroon. The family member connected that call back to my mom. They said, no, they don't want to talk because the son has interrogated, the son has like put some certain words in her head. She doesn't want to listen, she doesn't want to send any money again. I said, okay, since the whole show is not about video, it's not about sharing live location, it's about copying locations and whatever you want to send to me, there is nothing I would say. But I'm telling you, we are not going to send any money, and I've informed every family member that they are not going to send any money. And if you want to go ahead, call that child biological parents and see if you will even be able to communicate with them or even be able to get 1 franc from them. So the guy dropped the call and said, I've done, I die, I'm not going to be good. So that's what the situation happens at. Now we get that the incident happened the day before yesterday, day after year. So I was so happy, like, okay, they were able to even try to get some people back or trying to bring some people back because a lot have fallen into this dubious scam, which... So
this, your own case happened recently?
Just recently. I'd say we just recently, just talking about something a month ago that we discussed. It happened like since in November. This business started in November, October. She left in November, October, and the November, December, and this January. She's still there because we tried to look her face on the videos, but she was not there.
Yeah.
But she's still there, with the guy.
Wow. All right. Thank you. I think the story is unfolding, and I wish to get to the guy who was interrogating them to get the details of what transpired. We will definitely get to that guy before the week is over. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's read this message from one of our listeners in Nigeria. Many young lives are being steadily destroyed by traffickers who trick them, especially young girls, with jobs in caregiving, salesmanship, and numerous other phony jobs. They take these young girls, sometimes with the connivance of relations, and set them on a journey to slavery. The usual destination from Nigeria is more often Ghana. The boys are told they will prosper in internet fraud called Yahoo. The girls, when they get to Ghana, quickly realize that the only job offered available is prostitution. They find out quickly too that for them to be able to do prostitution, they need to take hard drugs. They quickly get hooked, and in a very short time are totally wrecked. Their lives become so bad that they lose all connection to their families in Nigeria. For the first for the first possession to be sold in order to buy drugs at their mobile. I get it. Okay, the first possession to be sold to order drugs or to buy drugs are their mobile phones. Thereafter, it is a life of eating and sleeping rough. All right, I think we've seen this in Ghana. I think only about 2 or 3 weeks ago we heard of reports of girls and boys like this recovered in Ghana from the same crime, abductions for job purposes. Gentlemen, I'd like you to round this up and we'll call it a night. Sama, go on, please.
Well, the only advice I can give to our people on the ground is do not leave your comfort zone that you are going through Nigeria because you are going to get a job opportunity from Nigeria to Ghana. For Ghanaians need that job more than you. In Ghana, they haven't been employed. Ghana is not talking of shortage of manpower that they will import manpower. Nigeria is in the worst case. Do not leave the Southern Cameroons elsewhere in Africa or in Asia that you are going there to look for a job via a first or second party. Do not do it. Stay where you are. Survive the way you've been surviving, the way you were born until today you've been surviving. You can still survive with the situation that we have now on the ground. You know you are way in and way out, so you will survive. Do not risk your life going to Nigeria.
All right, well said. Sebas, please.
Yeah, my humble advice to Southern Cameroonians is do not think falling bush, as we call it, is the best option or the only thing you can do in life. Again, trust people, trust those that are, I mean, each Southern Cameroon, you know at least one person that is out of the country. Look at this guy that just called from Canada. He is in a better position, or he was in a better position to advise his sister, but the sister doesn't really believe in him. I don't know, maybe she is under duress, or maybe she was under threat not to release all the information to the brother that, oh, I'm under pressure and things like that. If anybody is coming to you to give any money to travel, please do not. All these are scammers. Like I think it was Comrade Chris that said, or Comrade Sama, if you want to go to South Africa, go to the South African embassy and get a visa. If you want to come to America, go to America. There is nobody out there that is going to bring you to America from Nigeria or through Nigeria. Take you to Mexico through Nigeria. There is nobody that is going to take you to Canada through Nigeria. Please, 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 do not waste your money. Do not waste money that you could use or that you can use to do anything, something good for yourself, to give scammers to use for their drinks and drugs. Or so just focus. If somebody comes to you, the first thing for you to do is to reject it. Even if you are interested, ask 1, 2, 3, or 4 people before going in for something. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sama and Sebas, for joining me tonight. You have a great rest of your day, sir. All right, before I go, ladies and gentlemen, let me read some messages here still coming on this subject from our listeners. This one, right. Good evening, Comrade Chris. This abduction is being carried out mostly by Nigerians who are in Cameroon with no papers. Even in Bamenda, they have been selling drugs without being arrested. They do it with the complicity of one commissioner of police with the Bamenda Public Security. If you furnish us with the name of that police, that will be great. We will be able to investigate his role in that. So you sending me this message, send me the name and if possible the contact number for that commissioner of police in Bamenda. All right. Good evening, Mr. Chris. I'm a victim. My member told me that. I think he wants to say my mother told me that his son is in Canada, that I should send my child to Nigeria to do a course after she will cross to Canada. His I mean, he asked for 900,000 francs. He asked for 900,000 francs. I raised the money and sent to him. And, well, it's very poorly written, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just read what I find here. And finally, my word came back without a single franc. The place is called Quest International in Port Harcourt. Okay, so I guess this is another location because the one we are looking at on television was reported from Ogun State, which is just a stone throw from Lagos. All right. I guess we're gonna still dedicate, when I bring the guy in the video on the show, we're gonna dedicate a whole show on this subject, I guess. Let's see if we have other messages here. Okay, I think those are all the messages. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I'd like to remind you of my book, which is now published on Amazon. The title, The Hypocrisy of the West, which you can find on your screen there. The Hypocrisy of the West. Again, it is available and selling on Amazon. If you need a paperback copy, all you need to do is log in to Amazon.com, and type or search the term Hypocrisy of the West, and you will see the book will pop up on Amazon. Now, right there, you can copy, you can order a paperback copy, exactly what you see on your screen, or you can order a digital copy which can be downloaded for you instantaneously. So that is how you get access to the book, because lots of people have written to me and said, how do we get copies? How do we get copies right here in Africa? And I say the way to go if you are in Africa is to get a digital copy. Unless you are in South Africa, I don't know about Nigeria and Ghana. It's possible, I'm not sure. But anywhere else, you can get a digital copy. A digital copy is a complete copy. The only difference is you download it, you get it immediately, you cannot print it. But the real paperback copy is a real book. It's still the same as a digital copy. There's no difference. All the content is the same, just the difference between a digital and a physical copy. So again, the way to find it is Amazon.com. Amazon.com. You get to Amazon, you enter the search term Hypocrisy of the West, and the book will pop up, and you can use your debit card or credit card to make a purchase. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad you tuned in.
It challenges official
tonight.
narratives, names uncomfortable truths, and forces readers to confront a world governed by convenience, not principle. You should read this book if you have ever questioned why some dictators are sanctioned while others are celebrated. Get your copy of The Hypocrisy of the West today on Amazon. Read it, question everything, then decide where you stand.
All right. Now you know where to get it. I look forward, ladies and gentlemen, to being back here tomorrow. So please, I hope you stay safe out there. For those of you in the USA with a snowstorm that engulfed the entire country, I hope you remain very, very safe out there. Thanks for tuning in, and please, good night.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com.